I'm Brittany Willard, and I thought I would show some of you how I create images for my custom albums. So this is what I used, was canva.com, and you can sign in for free. It's free to do. And I just used the social media posts on the left. And this is how I do it. They've got up here this design school where you can just click through and watch all these different videos and things like that. And they'll give you some tips. And I actually just realized that. And so I'm excited to watch some of them sometime. But so when I go to make a custom album for Facebook parties, this is what I did. I've done this twice now, so I feel like I got a little bit better this time with what I wanted to do. So I left my background white. They've got different backgrounds and stuff, but I just left mine white. And you'll see some of them say free, and then there's some that aren't free. They have to pay for, like these ones. They're like $1. So I just use all the free stuff. And how I started with this album was, first I started, because I wanted to be able to edit it later on when prices change or we get new products. I started it with just adding in my information. So I pulled up a little text box. I wrote in my website, which it's not letting me. There we go. So I'll just put in a website here. This is my YouTube page, but I put my business website in there, and then I was able to change, the font. You could change the type, whatever. I went down to transparency and make that kind of transparent, because later on I'm going to be trying to pull that on top of my images, just because I spent over a week actually working on my images, and I don't want people taking them without asking. So, if you're spending a lot of time on it, you could do this also. So I just copied them, and this time I just took 4 and I just placed them around where I thought I would end up probably putting my album images, like that. And then you can take some more text, write your name, and then whatever your company asks you to do, and your website. This might differ for you, but I'm actually going to make this on the left side like that instead of it was centered. And I'm going to put that down here, and that's just going to stay at the bottom of all of my images. And then I have a lot of people on my Facebook parties who sometimes just aren't very familiar with Facebook, so I wasn't sure. Sometimes they don't realize they can click through the images and see more. So I put little arrows on either side, which I think you can just go and do a search for arrows, if that's something that you feel like is beneficial, and you could just take one or whatever. You can size it down. You can change the color if you want a totally different color, and then copy also, and then turn it around. And the thing I like about Canva is that it kind of lets you line things up nicely. So I want it like in the center, so I'm going to try to just move it down till I find a line, and we'll put it there. And then it will I can square it up with the other side. There we go. See? So, all right. So this is what I did first, is I had this, and then I saved it, which you can save it here, which I just realized. I didn't know that. And then what I did was I left that how it was, and I'm going to use that. I'm making a copy. So this is my copy of that one. And everything stays to where you can still move it around and everything, which is nice. So let's get started with, I wanted to make my album. So I will upload an image. And I just uploaded these ones. We'll just pretend my business sells pets or something. And then open that. And those will all pop up. Okay, and then I am going to size them down because you don't want them that big, and I kind of can line them up where I want them. There we go. And I like to line them up because I don't want my stuff kind of jumping around my page a lot when they move from picture to picture. So I like everything kind of to stay lined up. That my last one. There we go. And see, the writing is now behind it, but all you have to do is click on one and then click back until it's behind it. So that way if that's what you want to do, if you want that thing there, you can do it like that. And then we'll add some text. So I liked to pick out some of these really cool looking different texts. To find one that I like this sign here, you could put, what your title for that section is if you want like a title or something. I came up with little cute titles for mine. Let's rock. Not super cute, but you get the idea. And I can change my writing or whatever. I can change my font, whatever. So I'm going to size that down and bring that up top. I'll probably just push it up there somewhere. You can bring it over there. I have some on the left, whatever. And it saves like the colors that you've picked before when you're using copies, so I can make it match my arrows if I want. Okay, so I've got that, and then I can add, I'm going to bring that back to the top, and I want to add some information about these. So actually what I'm first going to do is I prefer to number each of my images. It doesn't really have to do with anything other than just helping keep the flow of stuff. So I have little circles, which I found over here. So you can pick like a circle thingy and size that down to where you want it. It gets a little tricky. For me, I can't like click. Now I just have arrows. So what I do is I click out here and then I go back and I can move it like that. And you can put this where you want. If you want a number up there or down here or wherever, I might put that up there. And then just copy it. And you can line them all up if you want, that's the thing I like about the new album I made, is that I made all my dots kind of line up and so they don't jump around the page. And it's just more pleasing when you flip through it. Let's see if I can get that lined up there. Oh, there we go. And then you can take some writing and write A. Bring it over. You can change the color or whatever, but I just wanted to copy it. So you get the idea. See how I lined it up. I'm going to go back. B. Oop. It's a little low. There we go. Okay, you get the idea. And then I want some writing. So, what's that? Dogs are so cool. You should buy this. I try to keep my descriptions really short and sweet, because nobody really wants to read a paragraph. I also liked trying to keep it like into just a couple sentences that are kind of like this and not run on. I don't know. You'll figure out what you like and what your customers like, and then find somewhere that you want to put it. And so if you want to change the font of them to have something that you like better, I think I like Kite One. I think it's a cool font. That way when you go through and you can just copy them, it'll take all your font and all your sizing and your colors with it. So that way when you go down and see how it lines it up, you can see all the little lines that are super helpful. That's why I like Canva better than using PicMonkey.com, because as far as I found, PicMonkey didn't have the grid lines, and I like the grid lines. So that is pretty much how you do it. You can always mess with them and find out what you like better. I think for this album I had mine my stuff more like this. Oh, I had like a name too. Let's get a name. Here's what I would do. Make it go to the left, and that way you can line it up. It gives you these different options of lines. See, there's one that appears. Oh, it's right there. There. Golly, it keeps disappearing, doesn't it? There we go. And then that way I can make sure all of my things line up the same distance away from the dot and stuff, so that it just all looks really pleasing. That's just how I prefer it. So you can have everything kind of look like that if you want, or you can find a different way of doing it. I don't know. I'm sure you have an idea in your mind of what you might want your album to look like. But I know a lot of people have asked me how I did mine. So I thought I would show you. And that way maybe you can see just a little bit of what we're talking about. Obviously I wouldn't want my writing to go over by the arrow like that, but and then if you want to add, I don't know, like a little blurb off to the side, some of my things have those. You can find a little shape that you can just put text over, or you can find more text things. There's all kinds of them down here, like this one. But some of them, when you shrink them down, they don't let you get the text very big, so sometimes you just want to get a different thing. But it might not let my text get much bigger. See, yeah, it doesn't let my text get bigger. So if I want bigger text, then I'm going to need to pick out a shape and then get a regular text and write over it. But okay. And then, so whenever you are done, download it. I would check and make sure that your download looks right, because sometimes it might accidentally not look right. Make sure all of your, if you're doing some of these little thingies, that they're on top of everything and not hidden behind. And then you can go save that. And what I ended up doing was then I would make a copy of this, and here it comes. And so this is more my template now, and this is my copy of the last one. So I can actually go through, delete my pictures, pull up new pictures, you know, retype over my typing, change my sign if I want a different sign. I kind of like to switch up my signs a little bit, but that way everything else stays the same. And I actually kept my spots, my little dots here. I tried to keep them in the same exact spots. That way when you click through, they stay still, and really just the images and fonts change. If you have to have like, some of my things had like, for work, some of them had extra stuff that I needed, like, oh, this comes with this, or buy this to go with that. So for those, I would make like a copy of the dot, and then I would actually, oopsie, sorry. Then I would take that, make it even smaller, and say, yeah, you can add this on too. And golly, it's just clicking everything except for what I want it to. And then you can put that back. And then you can have like your other thing down here and put some text down here and say, in addition, you can add a collar to this lion that you're getting, or whatever, whatever product it is. Hopefully you're not buying lions, but you can add your product that you're buying right there. And if you need extra things, that way you don't, that way still all these big dots are just, they look better when you click through it. To me, at least, I like when you click through and everything doesn't jump all over the place. So that's what I preferred this time I made my custom album. After I use this one for a few months, I don't know if something will change, but this is what I liked. So I hope that this helps some of you who are wondering what to do. And you know, click around, go to that Canva design school maybe. If they have a help thing and they respond pretty quickly. So I hope that works for you. All right, let me figure out how to turn off my little video. There we go.